Good morning, everybody. This is Crumbawig 420. Here we are to kick back and watch the sunrise this morning. I'm going to do a little housekeeping before everybody starts coming in, providing we get anybody this morning. I am pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about our little live this morning. Vince, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. Thank you. Scotty, what's going on? What is going on? Yeah, Jess asked me yesterday in somebody else's live when I was going to be going back up in the morning, so I figured, hey, today's as good of a day as any. What's everybody up to? Hey, hobo, awake time. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. I don't know about you guys, but we definitely have a chill in the air this morning up here. It's 51 degrees out, which isn't the end of the world, but it's just a 25-degree swing from yesterday. So that's better than the 40s that we'll have in the near future. So Scotty, I'm doing great. How was work? Was that a lot of fun last night or what? Super solar flares hit the earth, hobo? No shit. Was there damage? People get hurt or anything? I watch very little news, just being honest. I get most of my news off from YouTube, believe it or not. Seems to be a hell of a lot more accurate than the news stations these days. Oh, I'm sure it was super busy. Oh, I'm sure there could be, hobo. Yeah, it's much safer to not do that. You know, I'm to not watch the news. I mean, yes, we all want to be informed, but it's so freaking negative. Absolutely negative. You know, my dad calls me every morning, and one of the things that he does is he talks politics in the news. And now he's like, "You don't watch the news, do you?" I'm like, "No." I said, "I figure I can wait for you to tell me what's going on." And I said, "It's just so negative." And he's like, "Well, on Sundays, they have a show that's only good news. It's an hour long." I said, "Dad, there's 168 hours in the week. What do we do with the other 167? Just listen to the bullshit?" Yeah, gets it gets a little tiresome if you ask me. Yeah, and you know, I will talk about it later some, but they had some video on yesterday or something about descheduling, rescheduling, some happy horse shit that Trump wants to do. But suddenly, hey, Wild Bill, what's going on? Suddenly, nobody could say the word cannabis or marijuana on TV without them blacking it out or muting the word. And it just baffled the shit out of me that suddenly that's a taboo word that can't be said on news or TV. Silly. Uh, Trying to make sure I'm staying hydrated today. I had a couple people remind me of that yesterday. I just swing into somebody's live and I get a little message, "Stay hydrated." I'm like, "You fuckers. You just don't want to hear me cough all morning long every time I do a rip." See here. Sorry, just checking my notes real quick here. Wild Bill, what's going on in your world? I haven't caught up with you too much lately. I see you come up on lives every now and then, and I get to smoke along with you, but I hope things are going well in your world. I think, even though we only got a couple people in here, we should probably fire one up for this early morning session here. I don't see any reason why not. Oops. Alarm just came on. We don't need that. So, everybody, I have today some What have I got today? I am going to go ahead and go with the Acapulco Gold this morning. To get our mind right. Absolutely. Hey, Z-Bud, thanks for coming in. We're just getting ready to fire up here. I got a little Maui Wowie in this bowl, and I figure, hey, why not? Cheers, everybody. Nice, Wild Bill. Nice. That is super cool. Trimmed at 21. Holy crap. Holy smokes. Nice. I'm glad for you. You know, I'm glad that you called it Trim Day and not Trim Jail, because I'll tell you, it's so rewarding. I don't know why people get so down about it. My son loves it. He'll come over and he'll freaking throw down for hours on end, loving every minute of it, trimming up. So it is a lot of fun. Cumulus, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Trimming plants in flower. It's packed. I bet it is. I bet it is. It's a double-edged sword for my outdoor run, just because I think I'm going to have to dry everything in my garage this year. Since last year, I used probably half of the garage, but I think it's going to need a lot more space this year. And I definitely won't have enough room inside the house. So unless I utilize one of my 4x4 tents, but still the same, even with that, I'm unsure how much I could dry in there, comparatively speaking, to what's going to be coming out. So, 12 plants is a considerable amount for the most part, providing they bulk up good. I'm still concerned that we are, I don't know, today's the 31st. Last year at this time, I pulled on the 24th of September. So, I'm looking at having a solid 4 weeks if the weather holds out. So I'm thinking everything should beef up pretty nice on that. Things should fill in more. I got great stacking going on with everything that's out there right now. The only plant that's behind is my Blue Sunset Sherbert. That was a clone that I got from somebody else. Think you filled a jug in under a minute, Bill? Nice. Nice. Yo, Cavs, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. You guys all coming in and checking out this morning. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys a great deal. Gonna hit this again because, hey, why not? We're here. Oh, you're harvesting beans this morning, Cavs? Nice. Nice indeed. Jack. Good morning, Jack. How we doing? Excuse me. You tired? You were a busy man yesterday. Real busy. Loved that panel that you had yesterday, Jack. That was great. That was super great. That was a great live you had. I don't know if anybody caught that. Jack and the Green Talk had an awesome live with the panel, like 6 people on it yesterday. I don't know if I can remember everybody that was on there. Jack was on there. Dragons was on there. Let me see who else was on there. Growing Old was on there. Good Quality Cannabis. Trying to think who was next into there. And then I believe Shy was last. I think I'm missing someone. Jack, you can help me out and tell me who I'm missing on that. But you guys did a phenomenal job yesterday. It was great. Great, great, great. Harvesting beans, silky cheese. It's cheese. Number one cross with Acapulco Gold and Panama Red. That sounds mighty tasty. Oh, that's right. It was Jason Werline. That's who I forgot. Hey, Warriors. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is great. You guys all coming in here to hang out. You know, as I'd mentioned before, I think this is a pretty cool time to come on. I get to catch a lot of people. Big movie. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. How you making out? You winning any more on Keno? Getting some of those big greenbacks in your pocket? Oh, that's pretty cool, Cabs. Silky smooth leaves. Huh. Nice. I love that. You guys subbing up to one another. Oh, you know what I forgot? You know, I've been doing these for a little bit. I don't know how many lives I've done, but in all of my talking, I forgot to mention that this channel is for 18 years or older. I'm not going to go through all my normal spiel right now. I'll wait and do it a little bit later with drama free room and all that good stuff. I reserve some of that for when I make new moderators so people understand that, we're here to have a positive experience, positive channel, and most of all, to grow this community. $100 on Lottery Keno last night. Well, 25's already gone. It's an investment. That's how you have to look at it, Big. It's an investment. Definitely an investment. No, we don't have to be adults. Not even remotely. I'm far from that, let me tell you. Adults, that's a funny thing. I was having a conversation with my kids the other day, and I asked them for help with something, which I seldom do. And they're like, "Dad, you always do this stuff on your own." And I'm like, "Well, Dad's getting a hair older and needs a little bit of help." And they were like, "But you still act like a freaking 2 year old." I'm like, I know. I said, but there are times in our lives when we actually do need help from other people and have to stop screwing around and do stuff. But it's fun. Yeah, fuck adults. Warriors. So good to see you in here. I love catching you guys all throughout other people's lives and going to your channels. I've been doing a lot of channel surfing lately, and I've kind of been doing what I preached to everybody to do the other day, Go to somebody's page, channel that you haven't been to, sub up to them if you like what's there, or sub up to them in general. Go check out their videos, drop a comment and a like. You have no idea what that's going to do for some of these people, how it's going to make their day, encourage them to grow, leave them some positive feedback or constructive criticism, either or, depending on what is going on. But, the community that we're in, everything for the most part that we get from other people when we interact is pretty positive, with the exception of, Johnny Troll that's here and there. But adulting 0 stars. Is that 0 stars Scotty would not recommend? While Bill's all worried about Toys R Us. Yeah, showed your age a little bit there. So I have a Scotty did not sign up for this bullshit. I can understand that. That I definitely can. So, got a question for you guys. And that is, what's your take on dry herb vapes? For anybody in here who has any experience with them or anything like that. Because I was given one a while ago and I took it out and was playing around with it the other day. Here, let me get it. It is the outside of the box is a little dirty, but let me come back here. If you can see, it's the Yokan Hit. I've got so much light up here that I can't really go. There we are. If you asked my wife, she would tell you that I am probably at 60 one of the most childish and immature people at times. And she said she's surprised that I ever could have been in positions that I was out there in the industry because I'm such a jackass. But I take that as a compliment. I mean, I really do. You know, at least I'm memorable when I come in or out of a room sometimes. So, is that a sucks on the dry herb vapes, Cavs? Well, my long and short of it is I tried this thing out. I'll take it out and show you exactly what it looks like. Yeah, I'll give you a nice little kit of shit inside of it. Got the Volcano Hybrid. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I tried it out to see. It's got a little compartment here. Let me get this freaking top off that pulls off, down into there. And I don't know. It no matter what setting I have it on, it your first little bit of a hit is fantastic, and then after that, it tastes like you're smoking cardboard. It's very uninviting, I guess it would be. Not tasty, not good. It's just shit. So I don't know. I just want to know what other people's opinions are. I know some people that have like a dry herb vape that they put on top of their bong, and do it that way instead of actually combusting anything. And I don't know. Just wanted to know what you guys' opinions were on it. I seem to have lots of little things like that around that people have given me or I've acquired. Okay, Jack. You know, yeah, I mean, I guess they have a place. I just don't, they don't have a place in my repertoire of stuff, I guess I should say. Yeah, I get that, Cumulus. As I said, it was given to me. It was nothing that I would have ever really ran. I can't say that. I might have bought one to try it, at some point in time, but I don't think so. Yeah, I still have a problem with the vapes. I do them or, if I'm going somewhere where I can't smoke and I know I can't smoke, I'll bring a vape along. Morning, Hamish. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, that's no problem. Take your phone calls. Here it's 5:14 in the morning, so if somebody starts ringing my shit now, I'm going to get pretty upset. But that's okay. Not a big deal. I'll just give my phone to one of the dogs, let them answer it. Yeah, so I'll bring a vape along, as I was saying, if I'm somewhere where I can't smoke and I know I'm not going to be able to for like 5, 6, 7 hours. And the only thing is the next day it is very hard for me to draw off from a bong or anything that I'm actually lighting. It's like I need a reset for about one whole entire solid bong, or I feel like my lungs are going to fall out. So I don't know if that's just me being hypersensitive to whatever's in the vapes. Who knows? But there are some of them that I love. Some really, really tasty ones out there that have a great, great, great taste to them. Great terp profile. Makes me feel pretty good. I mean, they don't get me freaking blasted. But takes the edge off, which I think is pretty neat. I strive to stay at home as much as possible. I can't say anything about that right now, Cavs, because that is a big thing for me. I mean, I'm on an employment quest so I can work out my last about 2 years before I can retire. But for right now, man, I work the garden. I take care of the house, which we got 5 acres, so that's a monster at times. And hey, big, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you greatly. Loving the share. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. Yeah, I know how busy you are, Scotty. You're like always awake. It's always awake and doing and going and moving, and that's all pretty cool. It really is. Oh, calves. A little mushroom tea and lemonade and smoke some herb. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Not at all. I am patiently awaiting being able to break up my all in one bag for my white rabbit shrooms. One of those things that I've noticed is the white rabbits are taking a lot longer to disperse their mycelium throughout the bag. I've got a spot on the back about this big, spot on the front about this big. And I really want to wait till almost 75% of the bags colonized before I do the break, smash and grab with the all in one bag. So, but I'm looking forward to that. I still have F pluses and Lizard Kings here. I probably got 2, 7, 14. I probably got half an ounce of shrooms left still, so that's not bad. And as I told you guys, the the old bag that I had, I whipped outside, and that thing produces mushrooms still. So I'm grabbing one or two off from every few days. I go out there and take a look, and some of them are little pins that aren't going to get any bigger than they are, but some of the other ones are sizable. The caps are almost 2 inches across, so I can handle that. I can definitely handle that. 14, 14 grams is good enough. It is. It is. You always got to keep a little on hand just in case. Absolutely. So, what's everybody got going on for this holiday weekend? We are kind of laying low. It was one of my kids' birthdays yesterday. He turned 22, so that's pretty cool. No, 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 no. Not at one time. Not at one time. The most I've taken at one time was 6 grams, and I tripped balls for quite a while. It was one of the best experiences I've had, and it was during the day, so all of my freaking everything outside, the trees, the grass, the nature was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. What do we got? 2 grams tea mixed with lemonade. Work tomorrow, you lucky people. Long holiday. Well, I don't know. My wife's working tomorrow on the holiday, and I know a couple of my kids are. So, it wasn't like when I was young and growing up that these holidays, everything was closed. We had blue laws back then, and the The blue laws were generally holidays, everything was shut down. Sundays, everything was shut down. No liquor stores open, no gas stations, no grocery stores, no nothing. Church was about all that was open. Teen, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Let's get you modded up, and I'm going to give my quick mod lecture if that's all right. All righty. So I'm going to mod you up, Teen. Let me give you my little moderator lecture. We're a drama-free live, drama-free stream, drama-free channel. Please make it a point to welcome everybody that comes in. We all know how it was when we first got here and we'd go into chats and nobody would talk to us, and it made us question if we ever wanted to be in this community. Well, let's make it a point to welcome everybody into here so they feel perfect. That's just it. You want to start your day great. So also, hey, you guys got wrenches, sub up to one another if you haven't. And also, if people, I learned this the other day, if I'm going to sub up to somebody's channel, I might as well drop them a comment. That way they know who they got their last sub from, and there's a chance they might sub back to you. And a lot of these people out there, some of your bigger content creators, it's surprising me that they are reaching back out to people who are dropping comments on their page. And I'll just say, reaching out to smaller content creators. It's nice. It's nice. You have some people that get big and forget about everybody, and then you have other people who are staying involved in the community, and I appreciate that. Are you back to work tomorrow too, Jack? Transplanting 4 calves. Cool, team. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing up to people. It's how we grow this community. The networking is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I can bounce back to Jack's panel real quick. Aside of the fact that everybody who spoke on that yesterday, I think I learned or picked up a trick or something that I'm going to be able to use in the future in my grow. And for at least 3/4 of that panel, everybody I had met outside in other places, outside of Jack's. And it's just so cool to see us all come together, us like-minded people. Cavs always has a lot going on, but you do too, Scotty. It's not like you don't. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do with and how I'm going to grow out my next run after this one. I haven't shown any pictures of my seedlings yet, but with the exception of, excuse me, the exception of an apple fritter that just is way behind everything else, so it looks like it could be a little bit stunted. Everything else has came up fantastic. I mean, I've got some seedlings that are this tall right now, and I got roots down to the bottom of every one of the cups. I did a quick check, which was probably not the greatest idea in the world, but I like to check. I like to see what's going on because, I have a runoff tray underneath my seedlings because they're in solo cups. And the runoff tray is catching maybe 1/4 of an inch of water. And I can tell you that these things, not water, 1/4 inch of runoff recharge and a little bit of micro that I have in it. And I got to tell you, these plants are drinking like crazy. And it's like overnight, I come back down and boom, they got more size on them, which I know that's how they grow, but still the same. To me, it's just impressive. Every time I see a seed pop and watch it grow over the course of a week, it just blows me away. Nice, Scotty. Nice. Oh, Wild Bill, you're starting Moneymaker. Nice. That is cool. That is cool indeed. I have not had it before. It just sounds, once again, a there's a lot of strains out there that I have not tried. I have had Gary Payton before, Scotty, and I gotta tell you, it could have been the source because this was like 4 years ago, and was it about 4 years ago? At least 3 years ago. And it was just before, no, four, because it was before I started growing. And I wasn't impressed with it. Somebody had brought some for me to try from the dispo, and I just wasn't necessarily as thrilled with it. I am sure it's because I have not had, uh, I'll call it homegrown, because that's really what it is. So, wow, there's a lot going on in the chat. I best catch up real quick here. Okay, big movie. Hey, thank you again. Trying to keep up on everyone, so if somebody leaves or comes in, I can make it a point to say hello. Y'all seen the Maui Wowie times Durban Poison? I have not, Cavs. Okay, so it potentially, I have noticed that myself, though. I don't know if anybody's ever ran into it with their own grow, but I've had stuff that's been fire all along, and somehow out of nowhere, I end up with one bowl or two bowls, and I'm like, God damn, I'm not that happy with this weed. So I'll actually get rid of the rest of what's in the bowl, pack up another one. It's like, okay, this is better. I guess we're, I don't know. Scotty 48, like a longer jack. Bill Core showed you. Okay. Yeah, I think today is going to be a great garden day. As I said, temps were a little bit cool, but I bet you by 8 o'clock, 8:30, we should be at least 65 probably. Sun will be up, everything will be drying off. That's the one thing I don't necessarily care for with these temperature swings. Everything just gets soaked at night with the plants transpiring and whatnot. Today's a Cal Mag day for me outside also. Being that again that most of my stuff's in cocoa, I have to feed unless I have something like the grow dots. I've got to mix up, X number of 5 gallon buckets to go ahead and soak everything down with, and give them the little breakfasts and hydrate them all. But the Cal Mags just, to me, and it's my own fault for being in cocoa, which makes it a pain in the ass. It really does. That's why I said, Crumbawig is most likely going to take the 100% plunge outdoors next year and do everything in soil. Oh, Cavs, I have. He's the Viking, correct? I subbed up to him. And well, that's the channel that I went to. I don't know if that's similar to what you're talking about, but that guy's a huge wealth of knowledge. Yeah, I started out with cocoa only because I was looking at what would be easier. That was then, and this is now. If I had not seen my 4 living soil plants next to the other ones outdoors, I don't know if I would have known how big the difference is. But I also did see when I went to that commercial grow, they are all on living soil and raised beds, bottom fed. And, that was taking a bunch of things that I like and mixing them all into one. I enjoy the bottom feeding. It's worked out well for me. I don't know how that goes with. I don't know if that is the main way that people with living soil will tend to feed or if they generally top water. I don't know. This is all stuff I'm going to learn as I go along. I didn't focus a lot on living soil again because I was in cocoa. So I have a lot to learn with all of that. Yeah, Grow Like a Viking YouTube channel. It just blew me away. Blew me away going to his channel. And he's so down to earth, knowledgeable. Yeah, I could spend days on that channel and probably not learn an nth of the information that he has. Oh, thanks, Cabs. Nice, Bill. Nice. Garden like a Viking. Yeah, living soil for the win. As I said, we learn. I can't dispute the results from what I'm seeing outdoors. And that's with just some autoflowers. I don't even have photos in the living soil. Huh. I've heard both sides of that 72 hours of darkness. I've heard darkness. I have heard ice flushes. I have heard having your lights on for 72 hours because you are creating more trichome production. That's the allegation out there. For you guys who have been growing eons and have grown for eons, you would know better what's the reality and what's bro science. You know, uh, that that pieces of information are what people do. I think some of it's left up entirely to the grower, but I don't know, Scotty. What is the benefit of doing that? Just so I know. Because I'll tell you, my first run that I ever did, which was with White Widow, I did that. I did the darkness. And I had no barometer. I had nothing to compare it to. Pro science, pro science is grow science. Some stuff's a little wacky though. Some of it is. Like I understand people needing and wanting urea from their plants, but that doesn't mean that we should all go pee on our own plants. There are other sources from that. I don't care how desperate you get, So I'm not saying that's a bro science, but it kind of is. Hey, if you need urea, go pee on your plants. See, and I think that's a big thing, Scotty. You know, you are already when you're growing because again, and for a lot of you out there, and a lot of you in the chat, you've been growing. You have a lot of stuff dialed in. I think some of the things people do in the last, week or few days of their harvest, I don't know how much you can impact your plant in that point of time. I mean, I'm sure you can kill it in that point in time. There's no reason that you couldn't, but I'm saying, in that last piece of time, what can we do to ensure that we're going to have the best possible plant out there when we harvest? You're right, Cabs. See, I could try it now and I would have something to compare it to. You know, I just, yeah, I'm trying to think. Really, at the end of harvest now, I don't do anything with the lights, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. Oh, we got 9 people in here and 13 likes. You guys are rock stars. Thank you. Thank you. Figure I might as well hydrate because I think we should take another bong rip in a moment here. You are right, Warriors. Okay, that makes sense, Scotty. You run under canopy lighting, Scotty? Or have you played around with any of that? Go with the flow. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. How's everything in your world today? Yeah, I thank you for that. Both Scotty and Cabs and everybody contributing to this conversation. That is true. I think sometimes I go to do something and I lack a little confidence because I don't want to, I don't know, don't want to trash my grow. But, I've got my problem outside with my newt deficiency that things are bouncing back from, but still the same. I probably waited a little bit too long before I talked to somebody about it. I don't know if it was, oh, I didn't want to say I fucked up, which God knows I say it all the time, so there's no difference. But yeah, extra lights under the bottom. Okay. Yeah, that is true. That is true. All right, guys. I think it's time for another bong rip. Everybody out there, please make sure you hydrate. Grow and grind. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you. We're getting ready to do a rip here, so you picked the perfect time to be in. Thank you. Thank you. I'm smoking on some Acapulco Gold this morning. You guys can throw in, I don't know, whatever you're smoking on and how you're smoking it. That would be awesome to see. I think one more here. Excuse me. Shouldn't have done that third one. Lola's Lola's psychosis. I think Galaxy was growing that, if I if I recall. Excuse me. Don't tell your wife. Yeah, it came out well, Grow and Grind. I definitely am working on increasing my what do I want to say? My array of genetics. I had the opportunity this time, as a lot of you guys know, to run some genetics that were vastly, excuse me, different than what I've been running in the past. I'd gotten some whole bunch of seeds from ILGM back in the beginning. Another thing that was as crazy as it sounds, everything 420 had seed boxes at one point in time, like their mystery boxes. My kids ordered me one of those. And I'll tell you, it had like 10 different strains in it. But again, I don't know where they came from. I don't know what genetics, what if they're from a seed bank or whatever the case may be. Now, they have all everything's germinated well out of them. They've been fine. But in this run that I have right now, that I said I've got two Gelato OG autoflowers from Seedsman, and I've got two Cargo Cartel from Hooligan Genetics, and the hey Paranormal, thanks for coming in, appreciate you. Uh, the difference in the genetics for those two compared to my other stuff is night and day. And I understand that people say there's a lot to be said for genetics, but I'll say it. There's a lot to be said for genetics. And I have a lot of reg seeds too. Probably way more than I thought I would ever have, but that's a nice thing in winning stuff from other people. I won four different strains of something that somebody had bred, and I got 40 of each seed. So I think for those, I may use on a giveaway in the future, play around with some stuff like that, share with the community. That's what it's all about. Boop, let me catch up with the chat here. Yeah, calves, again, I'm learning, we learn as we go. And it's interesting because I've said that, or I've had that said to me a number of times. I've heard it in thousands of chats that I've been in, or channels that I've been on. And it just, it really rings true when you see it firsthand. Oh, I agree with the environment too. That just simply between having a grow tent in your basement and a grow tent in your living room, per se. My basement runs 10 degrees cooler than the house in the summer. And all winter long, my basement probably sits at 50, which isn't bad. But, when you've got a tent down there, unless you're pushing a heater behind it, you're only going to get up to about 71, 72 inside the tent. So if you're pushing for higher temps, then that can be a bit of a struggle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm going to be able to run some of you guys' genetics at some point in time. That's super exciting. I am really stoked about doing some growing for Lucid and GQC. Some testing for them. That's going to be pretty cool. Nothing I've ever done before, so I'll make sure that I document and keep good track of everything as I'm doing it. So it's going to be most of my November planting, because that'll be my grow after the one that I have. I've got two going right now. I've got my outdoor grow, I've got my indoor grow. And then in November, when seeds become available, we'll germinate and run with that stuff, obviously, except for whatever I want to put outside in the summer. So that won't be too bad. Guess we'll go with some coffee right now. Gypsy grape. Not familiar with it. Which doesn't mean anything at all, other than the fact that I'm just not familiar with it at the moment. But nice, calves. So let me ask a question, because we've got a few of you people in here. Let's talk about landrace strains, if we could, real quick. Because I know what I think it is. But if somebody could explain, like I thought that landrace strains were like the original old school strain, the beginning, the Adam or Eve. Well, you know what I mean. You know, before we came out with all of this crossing and hybrids and all of that. You know, I mean, landrace strains. Okay. So did everything else essentially originate from, well, obviously it originated from landrace strains. I just wonder how much stuff has been bred out, when you get people that, I don't know. I have heard that when you're pulling clones, you obviously want to all pull from your mother plant, but they were saying, don't pull a clone from a clone from a clone from a clone, which I get. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to do that. But yeah. Oh no, I don't want to grow them. I just wanted for you guys to explain to me what it was, just so I'm not ignorant to the fact. I want to be able to be knowledgeable and carry on civilized conversations with people on it. Wild weed, a bunch of ditch weed growing in a field. That's the landrace strain. Scotty, speaking of hash, I had made some bubble hash a while ago. Gave some to my son, most of it that when I asked him for some back, he told me he'd smoked it all. So I had to be a little sad about that. But I was cleaning yesterday and I came across what did I do with it? One of these that I had saved, which is full of hash. So that made me really happy to be able to sprinkle some on top of my bowls yesterday. Mexican dirtweed. Scotty, you've never made bubble hash before? See, I was talking about that on one of my lives the other day that, if you guys could tolerate the bullshit of me making a huge mess on one of these lives, I'll get out my washer and my, micron bags and we could do a run of it. It takes time. It's fun though. I mean, if I do two washes, that's only going to be 40 minutes for the washes and then however long it takes to, run everything through the bags. So it's not too bad. What kind of press you getting, Scotty? Okay. Because I find that I like doing a lot of this stuff when we all can interact back and forth. I don't know about making just a standalone video of it. I don't know how excited I would be about doing that. Just because, well, I don't know. Oh, is it? Nice. Make a little note of that on my pad here. Press. Cool. Yeah, you know, I ended up getting a good deal on mine. I'd originally bought, I believe it was a 5 ton. And what happened was, brought it home, tested it out, and, I went to press some stuff and there was blow by on the pump. So I would pump it up and immediately would lose like 20 pounds pressure. So I brought it back and they didn't have another one. So they just let me upscale to the 7. They gave me the 7 and sent me home with that, which works well. And it's a dually tech. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's nice. It's got the timer on it. It's got the digital readouts. Both plates heat up. It's not one where it's either just the top or the bottom heats up. So, and it does the trick. Thanks again, everybody, for hitting that like button. I appreciate y'all. We got 9 people in here and we've got 16 likes already. We cannot complain about that at all. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. We've been talking a lot about Instagram. I really got to get off my ass and have my kids help me figure out how to navigate around on there. Not so much for posting stuff, but just for communication. There's a lot of people that have Instagrams that, they say, hey, run over there. Grizzly, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. And good morning. Good morning. We're having a little coffee, little smoke, little chat. A lot of fun. Lot of fun. Once again, just catching up with the chat. I'm I'm sure it really isn't hard. It's like I turned around and was messing around in an area I don't really on my for my YouTube channel page. And it's nice because I found a feature where you can basically add pages of people that interest you or that you follow or stuff like that. And yeah, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I like it. I noticed it on somebody else's page and it was cool because you could go. Thank you, Cavs. Thank you. I paid 360 for it. And the only thing that I don't like is obviously with anything, when you're pressing, you have to put a bit of, you're cranking. You're cranking on that pump. Jimmy John, thank you for coming in. And the only thing that I want to do is I want to attach it to like a board so that when I push down on it, there's no chance that that thing's going to rock forwards. I haven't had it happen yet, but I feel like it's just a little unstable from that standpoint. But other than that, I've been very pleased with it. It came with the 5-year warranty on it, which I like. That's greatly appreciated. You got going on in here? Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Jack, you're back. No worries. I was just thinking about you, though. I was like, I wonder if Jack is still on the phone. But that's no problem at all. No problems. Hmm. So, how many of you guys have to work tomorrow? Are you going to be live from the garden, Jimmy John? What time? Oh, you're working tomorrow, Scotty? I figured you were. Now, at least are you being compensated accordingly for working tomorrow? For those of you who are celebrating it as a holiday. Wow. That's shitty. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't understand that, especially with the workforce. I get free food, so there's that. Well, free food's okay. That is okay. It's not a bad thing. Cabs is always working. We know that. We know that. I know that. No, my wife said I'm her husband and I don't get paid money. It was funny. I went up on Tom Kerr's live yesterday. I was up there and three or four other people. We all had an absolute blast, but I was up there chatting away, and afterwards, forgotten. I turned around. My wife was in the room the whole time, and I said to her, I don't hear myself on these lives, so can you please tell me if I sound like a jackass or not? She's like, well, I wasn't really paying attention, but, and I'm like, oh man, but here it comes. She's like, no. She says it's kind of interesting. I never. At least she was topless. That's funny. That is funny. Made me laugh. I really appreciate all you guys. This is fantastic. So, I know what I wanted to touch on a little bit today. I know I'm kind of going all over the place. I wrote down some notes from myself. Talked about the dry herb vapes because that was really pissing me off a little bit. So, did anybody see yesterday? I touched on it way, way, way back at the beginning. We go live 6 Central Time. All righty, let me write that down. 6 p.m. Central. Jimmy John. Let's see if I can do this real quick here. There, I might be able to. We'll go to channel. We're going to turn all on so I make sure I get a notification, since I had the glorious thing of finding out the other day that for all of the people that I have, uh, this is true, Cabs. That is very true. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. That's not a problem. I saw tits on the screen, and like a typical guy, I lost my whole train of thought. And that's okay. I'll get back to it. Let me look over on my paper here. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about our current administration and what they put out yesterday about possibly legalizing cannabis in all 50 states. But legalizing it in all 50 states, I think. Oh, I'm just getting a little political. That's all. I am obviously a big advocate for descheduling, not rescheduling. I mean, what's it going to look like for us if they make it legal in all 50 states? Is that going to push us all towards horseshit medical grade marijuana? That is, and then what are they? My big thing is what are they going to do with us growers? For one, there's a lot more of us out there, I think, than what they realize. I think that if we could find a way to unite wholeheartedly as a community, we could make a bigger impact. And I think that's one of the things that we're trying to work towards. And it's not just for here in the United States. I think it's, this is other countries too. At one point in time, if the United States did something, I know that other countries would look at what we're doing and tend to follow. And I don't know, I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's bad. Let me pause a second and read this. Exactly what we do with this. One community make noise together. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, indeed. I am not educated enough to know, all the ways to go about this, whether it's petitions, whether it's, I'm not saying that we want to start suddenly get involved in rallies and all of that crap, because, unfortunately, I think not the appropriate people would participate in those things. Putting a negative light on our community. You know, yeah. So that's my thing. Uh, I just saw that trying to stop people from growing by passing laws. I I know what I have currently for genetics here for seeds, and I can honestly say, and I don't have a lot, but I have enough that I will never be able to grow what I have before I die, unless I suddenly say, "Oh, I'm going to do a commercial grow," and that wouldn't, I've only got maybe 400 seeds somewhere into there, and again, out of that, probably 200 plus of them are regs. You are right. Good people don't obey bad laws. But when I look at this, how would they manage trying to control us as growers? It's like you can't unring that bell. You already fucking did it. I just read your joke up top, Kev. That's funny. That's funny. What do women in swimming pools have in common? They're really expensive for the amount of time you spend in them. And I technically, in the eyes of New York State, I'm breaking laws right now because I'm way above my plant count. But if they sat down and talked to us growers about plant count, they would understand there's something called the perpetual harvest. And if you're planning out a run, you know, you need to have your next run planned out, and you have to have your seeds started, germinated, and to a certain point before you can move forwards. And you bring up a good point, Jack. You really do. What is what are the repercussions over there if you're caught growing, if you don't mind me asking? Calves plants can't count. You know who I haven't seen this morning yet? I haven't seen Jess. Jess was one of the people that asked me if I was going to be doing a live this morning. And JC, though I bumped into JC yesterday over on the Cannabis Community Network. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's these two guys. I can't remember their names. They're down in Florida. One of them is a DJ, and they essentially live in their van. It's an awesome setup, and they do a lot of techno music and stuff like that, and it's a good time. It's a place to go kick back and chill out, and they are they got a good following. It's just something different in the community. Again, I talk about how that one little seed that we start out with creates so many jobs and influences so many people. And hold on a second. If you get caught, if you get caught growing again, it's only $1,000 fine. Well, that's not too bad. Wow, it can be up to 15 years. Huh. Wow. It's just I get it. Are because we're not in prohibition land anymore. Those laws are still kind of dumb. You know, we're lucky about that. We really are. I mean, again, we are allowed X number of plants, X number of, cannabis that we're allowed to have on any single one person at a time. I believe it's 3 ounces if you're traveling around. For what we can have in our houses, it's pounds. plants. And I don't remember how many, but it's not a small amount, which is kind of funny because if they're turning around and saying that we can grow 12 plants, they don't really have a good idea of what yield is, which is fine. These were obviously people sitting behind desks, deciding all of these laws and rules. So, well, I think I need to clean out this bowl, pack up another one, and we should definitely fire up. It's a little bit after 6. Let's get that out of there. Mega grinder time. Frank, what's going on? Yeah, I decided to throw a live up this morning, hang out with all you cool people. Absolutely. And I'm going to run this one for a little bit this morning. We'll definitely wait for the sun to come up, which, I should really have checked the time here to see when the sun comes up. That's pretty rude of me. I say, let's watch the sun come up, and I don't even know what the hell time it does come up. So let's check that real quick here. Let's hope I don't knock myself off the screen while I do it. 6:28 is sunrise here in glorious Oswego, New York. There we are. We are back. Yep, that is a beautiful thing. That's why I like the mornings too. It's quiet, with the exception of the dogs that are going to get up and wander around shortly. But, other than that, everybody's asleep. I agree 100%, Cabs. 100%. Warriors, you had two. Wow. They made you take them down? That's pretty sad. That really is. Oh, no problem, Jack. No problem at all. Everybody can let me know in a few minutes when we're all rolled up and set and ready to go, and we will fire up. Oh, Frank, you got 4 guinea pigs and about 100 fish? Nice. Nice indeed. I'll be done in a second now, but then I'm wearing my glasses. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, you got a 150 right off the patio. That's nice. Johnny Appleseed Cannabis. Huh. Got this packed up. Show you what we got in here. There we are. Looks pretty nice. That's the Acapulco Gold, that's the Acapulco Gold that I talked about before because I got frustrated with it. I remember asking you guys, who's ever had Acapulco Gold that tastes forward, front, straight up like oranges? Maybe, maybe not, because I've had it before and I never recall ever getting smacked in the face like I just sniffed and bit into an orange. Oh, I was going to ask you what you did with your water, Frank. That's got to be fantastic. Oh, I do love the orange flavor. It just wasn't how I remembered it. And that's something that we were talking about earlier. I can get sour diesel from three different places. Two may taste alike and one may not, or all three of them may have different profiles. And I guess that goes towards how you're growing, what you're feeding, is it indoor, is it outdoor, but still the same. I don't think the taste should be that different. Oh, we're all rolled up and ready to go, people. Yeah, grow style makes a huge difference. It does. It's one of those things where you grow a strain, somebody grows a strain, and they're both great, but both different. Ah, bong time. That's it, people. Let's rip. Oklahoma coma. Nice. Cheers, everybody. That sounds great. The Oklahoma coma. Grizzly, Grizzly. Good morning again. 350 for 3 cuts. Wow. Hey, do any of you guys in here ship clones? And I'm not asking because I want to ship clones, but I was having a discussion with someone here in New York State, and we were talking about it, and apparently it's illegal to ship clones in the mail. My thought was, why the fuck are you telling them what's inside the box? Just ship the goddamn things, and we'll take our chances. But, it's a clone. Nobody's going to really know it's a cannabis plant unless they tear the box open and look inside. And God knows you can buy live shit off from Amazon that they ship in cloner containers. So, there's my rant on that. Stoney's going to send me. Oh, from Mendo Dope? Oh, okay. All right, Jack. Jimmy John, you went noodling down there last year? You're the first person I've met who is an actual noodler. I'm impressed. Okay, Frank. Yo, Dragon! Thank you so much for coming in. And hey, I appreciate you yesterday on that panel. That was great. I loved every minute of that. So a big shout out to you and to Jack for, I believe it was you guys that put it together. So thank you. Thank you. Dragon, we just did a rip a few minutes ago, but probably 6:30 we'll fire up again if you're still around. So I was listening to a live yesterday, and one of the things that they were talking about was the utilization of local honey on your plants because it's local. It has lots of great quantity or qualities. The sugars are good for your plant. Has anybody ever used honey before, like in place of molasses or something along those lines? Warriors used to go tubing down the river in Missouri. That's awesome. Yeah, Frank, antiseptic properties, correct. Enzymes. Okay. I have never messed around with molasses or honey because, and again, you guys can crucify me for this or educate me on this. I generally use recharge as like my type of tea that I put in, even though I know that's not a compost tea, you know. But I think that's something that I have to come up with a great recipe for from you guys and see how much of a difference that's going to make in my grow, which I suspect is going to be a considerable one. Okay. Okay, Jack. Yeah, recharge does, from what I gather, calves, but would I turn around and amend that with a little bit of honey or some molasses also? I mean, is it going to hurt the plants? I would suspect not. Seymour, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Come on in, chill out for a bit. We're going to smoke again at 6:30, so that'll be cool. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jack. Again, this is why we're here. We ask questions, we get answers. It's a beautiful thing. Indoor tent for my closet with two plants. Ah, if you're asking me if I have a problem with my plants right now, Cabs, 8 of my 12 outside. Yes, I do. I don't know if you're in here when I was talking about it the other day that I ran my grow with grow dots, like because they did a great job in the past. I don't think I had enough in there to carry them all the way through flower. So I ended up having to, I had so much yellowing out and leaves dropping off that you could tell that the plant was just starving. So I turned around, hit them with some newts, and then turned around, jammed some CalMag into there. Yes, I did top dress with grow dots again because, I am watering 30 to 40 gallons a day in that 150-gallon raised bed because it's all, it's 80% cocoa. And I think that's it, Scotty. I think I fucked myself on the CalMag because I am in cocoa. And that's why I said this is pissing me off and I want to make the move to living soil. So I don't know if I'm still going to grow cocoa indoors. I haven't decided yet. I've got a case left and I kind of hate to have it go to waste, but I also was looking and the cocoa can be a great base for a compost. So I may turn around and utilize some of that in my compost. It's not going to hurt anything. Oh, yes. One of the things that I'm pretty lucky with is my water standalone is super stable. So, well, you know what? I might be telling you a lie right now, and I'll tell you why. I never even thought of it until you brought that up. So, I don't pH my water every time because generally what comes out of the faucet is, where it's been since we moved here. However, a couple months ago, we had a water main break and they turned around and we had a boil water advisory for X amount of time, like weeks. It wasn't like just for 3 days. And I wonder if something along the lines of that changed the pH in the water. I should probably check that today. Hey, once again, make sure you guys are subbing up to one another. I know you have. Just it's a beautiful thing. I love the way we have all this connectivity in here. And again, that's another reason why you guys all have wrenches, so you can do that. Yeah, I didn't on a regular basis, Cavs, just because in the beginning I was. And it it just seemed like I was checking and it was the same number every single day, you know. But hey, it's not a problem at all. And I probably should get into the routine of that, especially if I'm going to be doing some testing for people. They're going to want to know the ins and outs and everything that I've done with their genetics. So I might as well get back into the practice of that. You're probably right, Cavs. You're probably right. Oh, you're only 9 away, Dragon? That is sweet. I decided I am going to do. I was originally going to do a giveaway or a something when I hit 400 subs. And that happened the other day. Thank you guys so much for it because all of this I couldn't do with any of you. So I decided that I'm going to do a giveaway when I hit 420 subs. So let me just take a look here for a minute and see if anything exciting's gone on overnight. Hey, that's a beautiful thing. So officially, I just saw that. That's pretty cool, Scotty. Nice. So I'll have to plan out when I want to do the giveaway for the 420. I've got some, I don't know, some equipment I want to turn around and share with people because it's stuff I'll never use. I've got limited genetics, but something that could be fun to give away and fun for people to grow. You know, thanks, Frank. Thank you very much. So, all right, let me tell you, Cavs, I'll give you the full rundown. When I first started growing, pH my water, running in cocoa, babied my plants like a mother and a half. However, I decided I wanted the easiest possible run, so I bought Advanced Nutrients pH Perfect. And sure as shit, it did a good job. What I have to remember is I'm not running that outside. I'm running the grow dots, which is completely different, which probably skews the shit out of my water and everything else. So, yeah, I think you are correct. Oh, that is a sign to light up. Let me hydrate real quick. And then yes, we are going to light up again. Wow, I've already gone through a bottle of water today. Time to crack open the second one. And thank you, Frank. Thank you. Oh, Frank's getting out the e-rig. You're fourth during the live. Nice. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Oh, I believe you, Cavs, 100%. Again, this is why we're here. Two bottles deep. This is how we start our day here. It's a beautiful thing. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, that is true. You know, it was funny. I watch little quick shorts, and Scotty Reel came up about 2 or 3 days ago, and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to tell everybody that you don't need 7,000 bottles of nutrients. Get yourself an actual good fertilizer and supplement with something like a recharge, a stash blend, something along those lines, and you're good to go." He's like, stop falling into the trap of all of the nutrient companies. And it was just funny because I heard him singing a different tune about a year ago, not in a bad way, just it seems to be they're seeing a shift in, do we need all these amendments, or are there all in ones out there so we don't have to add? Oh man, am I on Discord? Yes, I am. Kind of. I don't know. I am. Yes, I'm on Discord. So if I get somebody wants to drop an invite on here to their Discord, I can click on it and then I can go to whatever it's called there, your channel or whatever. So, yes. Yeah, Dragon, and that's part of what my issue was in my outdoor grow. You know, and again, in my early videos, I was like, I'm just gonna full send this and see what happens as an experiment. You know, my plants were small then. Then I had my raised bed get to 7 feet tall, and I'm like, holy shit. You know, now it's vastly different when I was growing in little freaking 10 or 25 gallon pots. Oh, Discord still does have me like that, Jack, because I don't go on it enough. The reason I had to get it was because I was on Token Toms and I won some beans. So the only way to send them my email address was through Discord. So I struggled and sucked it up and messaged my nephew, who's a big gamer and uses Discord, and he got me there. So, hi, Scotty. Two runs in after your grow dots. Well, Xylanese, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Appreciating you. Good morning, Robert. Breakfast time here. We just did a bong rip a few minutes ago. We were celebrating that I was talking about doing a giveaway when I hit 420 subs, and these fine people went to my channel and have told me that I officially hit 420 subs today. So sometime in the next couple of days, I'll put out there when I'm going to do a giveaway. So that'll be pretty cool. So Lenz, I pronounced your name wrong before because I'm a little high. We've been smoking up pretty good, but thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. growweedeasy.com. All right, hold on a second here. Got it. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Frank, for dropping people's channels in there. That's always muchly appreciated. Oh, it must be 6:29 because my phone just went off. That's my father's ritual morning good morning to me. And then I'll reply to him, and I won't hear anything till 8:30 when he'll call me and regale me with all the problems of the world from news this morning. I saw that you got a bunch of stuff, Scotty. Real bunch of stuff. That's really cool. A lot of beans to choose from. Thanks, Cavs. Jimmy John's got tea time for 6:40. How's that going to work out for you, Jimmy John? You know, I will tell you, golf is one of those sports that I just can't get into. And I will tell you, I worked at a golf course for 2 years. Went there because I didn't want to be responsible and be a boss anymore. And ended up mowing greens. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. But towards the end of it, being that I'd been a boss before, I suddenly ended up being responsible for all the irrigation on the golf course, also, which I don't know how much you know about golf courses and irrigation, but this one had 2.5 miles worth of underground irrigation. Let me tell you, if you've ever seen a sprinkler head pop off and feel the force of the water that comes out, man, it will flip you 2 feet in the air and drop you on your ass. Oh, I think so. Absolutely, Scotty. Absolutely. The big thing is getting the word out to more people that you do that on a regular basis. You know, I know people like the challenge of that. And I know on top of doing the seed giveaways like that, you guys are wicked generous to people in the community. Wicked, wicked generous. And I appreciate that. And I believe a lot of us out there do. Generous with your knowledge, generous with welcoming people in, generous with beans, generous with whatever. It's pretty great. Oh, Frank, you're very familiar with golf course irrigation? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? Cabs, are you still sipping on your mushroom tea? And getting back up to what you said, missing your dad's conversations, Frank. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why, as much as my dad's a pain in the ass, I have a bunch of messages from him saved in my voicemails so that I'll be able to listen to that at some point in time when he's no longer around. Holy shit, Jimmy John. That had to be a friggin' mess. Oh, I like that saying. I like that saying a lot. Sorry about that, Frank. It's tough. It is tough indeed. Good. That'll have you in a good place. Little mushroom tea in the morning. Well, I know it's really appreciated by people. It really is. Not to mention, think about it. As a first time grower, you know, again, you get exposed to so many different things. But think about it as a first time grower, new grower, and whatever. You're stumbling through your first grow and you bump across the live. And even if you don't participate, you just listen. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, they do a giveaway and you suddenly won some beans. It's incredible, incredible feeling and a giving community. Yeah, Jack, I don't have any voice recordings of my mom. She passed away about 13 years ago. And I tell you, If I could go back and have something, I would figure out a way to do it. You know what I do have? I do have video of her from, I think it was my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. So I at least have that I can look back on. Mushroom smoothies, I've done that before. They're pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. I turned around and did I mixed it in yogurt one day. I said I'll just do that. It was tolerable. But what was interesting was any of the remnants, like the little bit that was left in the bowl that I couldn't scrape out, within 15 minutes, it turned deep, dark blue. It was kind of impressive. Oh, cool. Cool indeed. Thanks, Frank. That would be cool. That is crazy, Jack. Applesauce or lemon tea and the mushrooms. Yeah. So let me ask a question. I do enjoy psychedelics and stuff like that. You know, so I've heard people that turn around and grind up their mushrooms or whatever and then dump lemon juice on them. Is that bro science or is that a real thing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think all of us have chewed on mushrooms with nothing and found out that that's probably one of the worst ideas in the world. Oh, I will definitely give you input, Scotty. Yes. The interesting part is, and I'll bounce this off from you guys because, I come up with not necessarily the best ideas in the world, but GQ, good quality cannabis, and I were talking, and I said, the first time we turn around and, like the first time I try this, I'm going to, or this batch, I should say, or these, I'll do it, chill out in the house and whatever. Second time, I think I want to do a live. I was thinking of doing a live with GQ while tripping balls. I don't know if that's the most brilliant idea in the world, but it could be fun. Oh, nice, Frank. Nice, Scotty. Nice. He mentioned that. He mentioned that. So, it'd be pretty cool. Both of us trying the same exact version. And yeah, I think it could be fun. I think it could be a lot of fun. Oh, absolutely, Frank. I'll plan this out ahead of time and let everybody know in the morning chat because I think it could be fun. What's the most that happens? We have too much fun. Oh, Frank. So GQC wants to sell you some seeds. So that is who I'm doing testing for in November. Lucid and GQC are trying to get something organized and up and off the ground. And I figured they approached me and asked, and I said, hell yeah, would I be interested? So, and there's a bunch of us, I think 15 or 20 of us from the community that are going to be doing testing. Hmm. Well, good. I like it that everybody enjoys the thought of me and all of us together tripping online because I think that'll be good. I'll definitely have to run the 18 or older disclaimer on my description because God knows YouTube will love that. Yes, you're going to be testing some too, Jack. I know I still haven't sent you an email, Cabs. I am like the worst person in the world at sending out emails. I limit myself to about one a day out of my new account because that's one of my difficult things. I created a new account just for my channel so I could have Crumbleweed 420 at Yahoo. And needless to say, I keep forgetting that I have it. And I'll go to use my old email and then I'll be like, oh God, I got to get out of here now and go to the other one. And yeah, I know it's just excuses, but I'll get you an email shot. He wanted $20 for some testers. How many testers? I mean, is he going to send you like 20 or something along those lines? I have other genetics coming from them that are not necessarily testers. There's stuff that's already been stabilized. So I'll see what that's all about too. But I am looking forward to doing something. I mean, I don't know if $20 for X number of seeds is. Oh, I know. He was talking about covering the shipping. Because we were talking about that the other day, and I said to him, I think they heard my rant that you really need to ship genetics appropriately. Put it in something where they're not going to get freaking smashed. Spend the extra money on the postage to ensure that your genetics are going to get there and nobody's going to be frustrated because all the beans were smashed into 1,000 pieces. Because I know how that is. I got an envelope the other day of freaking pulverized seeds. One seed lived out of it, and that was Wedding Crasher, and it's grown, and I'm pleased. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Frank. Who am I missing here? Jess, what's going on? Yeah, roll up, please. Thinking about 3 minutes. We are gonna fire up again. I don't see why not. Yep, I smoke a lot, guys, so but I know you do too. Let's see here. Did I miss that? Yep, I did. Sorry, guys. You know, the title of this was Let's Watch the Sun Come Up. Well, the sun came up here at like 6:28. So happy good morning sunrise. If I was paying attention behind me, I would have noticed that the sun's coming in through the window and behind me. Huh. Yeah, I don't know about clones traveling to other countries. Never really thought about it. Smoke all day, every day. Dragons, not a problem. You know, I just appreciate you guys stopping in. I mean, this is tremendous. Again, I look at the chat right now. We got 14 people in here and have had 20 likes. How can you complain about that? And we're having great conversations. Scotty is the master of getting stuff into other countries. Cuts, yes. Rooted clones, no. I guess you got to figure out. Wait a minute. Look like motherfucking Christmas. Nice, Scotty. Nice. Yeah, why'd I bother to light that? We're only a minute out from firing up again, I think, in some way, shape, or form, because Jess is here. So if Jess is here, comes into the room, running a little bit late, slept in, obviously, obviously Jess needs to fire up with us. It would only be appropriate. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I am gonna drop a little hash Little hash. It's a little bit on the dry side. It's in there. A little crumbly. Throw some on top of the bowl. And I say, let's go, people. Let's fire up. 6:45. Wow. You know, excuse me. Hey, Robert, enjoy your fishing. Thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you again. Excuse me. I got to tell you, that's my hash that I made, and it just changes the whole profile of whatever you're smoking when you drop some on top. And, it's the taste, the profile of it is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And it hits real good too. It lets you know you just had some. Yeah, bubble hash is good. It really, really is. As I said, I actually ended up with a lot. But my son, I like to share the wealth. I just figured when I gave it to him, he would return some to me. At least he was honest about it. He could have said he misplaced it in his room instead of being like, yeah, Dad, I smoked it all. Hey, that sounds good, Dragon. You take your time. You let us know when you're ready. Ba ba bum bum bum. Yep, hash is some amazing medicine. $40 grams of black hash in the back of a safe. Wow. That had to be a definitely good year. I had a bizarre question for you guys. It's just curiosity. What do you guys do with your keef? Do you make keef bowls? Do you put concentrate on the outside of a joint and roll them in it? Do you save all your keef? I don't know, press it, whatever the case may be. Just curious. Yeah, I'm saving it in a container too. I have made moon rocks before. I have. And I'll tell you something, they definitely fucked me up. It was, I'd bought them way back before I was growing. And then once I was growing, I said, hey, I can do this. And yeah, that is a good idea. But I know, Jess, I save it too. I do make awesome keef bowls, though. I'll just turn around and pack a little bit in the bottom of the bowl, and then I make a sandwich. So 3/4 of it is probably keef with flour on top and on the bottom. But yeah, moon rocks is a good idea. Again, this is why I throw these questions out there to see what you guys are doing. Da, 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 da. I'm a little bit surprised that the dogs haven't got up yet. Everybody's still sleeping. You like to press it into hash, keep it simple or lazy? No, there's a million different things you can probably do with it, but I like to hear what you guys are doing with it. Plus, to give me ideas too. Sun rocks I am not familiar with, Cavs. Okay, Frank, inside a joint or on top of a bowl. Yeah, I got one of those puck presses too. I got one so that I could press 3.5 grams into these little round pucks that then you can put inside your micron bags and press on the press. It's like moon rocks, but all the same strains. Okay. Huh. All things good. What's going on? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. Let's get you squared away in here. I have seen you in other chats. I appreciate you being here. Gonna mod you up. There we go. And I got to give my quick mod lecture. Our room is for people 18 years of age or over. We are a drama-free channel and drama-free lives. Make sure that when people come into the room, please welcome them, make them feel like they belong, because everybody belongs in here. We are a solid community. Let me see if we get any trolls. Please help me escort them to the door. And let's see what else we got. Oh, and most of all, have fun. Have a good freaking time. That's what we're here for. Ask questions, offer solutions, and smoke with us. You know, now that you came in, what do we got here? Let me see. All right, all things. You just came in. We will smoke again at 7 o'clock, providing everybody wants to hang with that. So sunrocks are a high-end type of hash-infused exotic cannabis or flower bud. Wow, you painted a great picture of that, Frank. I like that. Cavort, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Like a window pane with me, or two. Huh. Waking up's a good thing. Now that was pretty nice. Let you sleep a little bit, huh? Thanks again, Frank, for dropping people's links as they're coming in. Four weeks left. Nice. Super nice. Ah, so you have freedom for a little while, Cavort? Nice. Nice. We were talking about that earlier. The nice part about coming on and doing the morning lives is it's so quiet in the house. Everybody's asleep. Nobody's up. Nothing's going on. You can just chill out undisturbed. It's a good thing. It's a good thing indeed. It's supposed to be nice outside today. I think a high of like 73 or 74. Sounds good, Frank. Hey, Jess, don't be so sure that you weren't subbed up to Frank. I'm glad that you are now, but YouTube's been being a dickhead about unsubbing people. I have noticed that also. And people that I know had subbed up to me and I had subbed up to them, and I go back to their page and it's like, holy crap. I'm looking at their videos and it's like, wait a minute, it says subscribe. It's like, holy shit, I'd done that months ago. I know, Jess. It's interesting. We as cannabis growers, content creators, and everything else not only have to struggle with the legalities and rescheduling or descheduling of cannabis, but we got to fight the second fight with YouTube. You know, I don't know if me talking about YouTube is going to get me a strike, a slap on the hands, or whatever, but it is frustrating their restrictions and busting our balls on things that don't even violate their terms or anything. I mean, I've been told that I can go fight all of my age restrictions on my videos, but I look at it this way: my videos are still getting seen by the community. Are they going on the main page and getting millions of views? No. And that's fine. But what I leave on my page are my lives. And I like the fact that they're not age restricted or anything like that. So that definitely helps out, because I think when I do these lives, we'll have X number of people that are in the lives. But then the people that listen to them afterwards, that's the cool part. They're throwing this on at work. They're just letting it drone in the background. And I'm impressed by that. Makes me feel good. Should make all you guys feel good, because you're all such a big part of this. You got automatically dinged? No shit. And you got a strike? Holy crap, Frank. Could be, Scotty. Could be. I just hope they don't restrict it all down to medical. And again, I don't think that they could absolutely do that, but 42 in Colorado. You're freezing on the patio? You're on the patio. Do you have one of those fire pits? Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool indeed. Well, you are right, Cavs. You are right. But you know what? We all know that even if we weren't in the cannabis community, the government does do a fine job of tracking what we do, where we go. I don't care if you've got location turned off on your phone. I'll turn around and talk about something with somebody else, and next thing you know, it's appearing on my phone in ads or on my computer. You're right, Jack. It's not going to make me stop either. One way or another. I mean, I was growing before it was legal, not by much, but before it was legal. And, you know, I I don't have any intention on stopping unless my 60-year-old ass can't do it anymore. Oh, you got a chimney? Oh, those are pretty cool. Got a nice setup there, Frank. We are 1 minute to firing up again here, people. I said we'd rip at 7 o'clock. They should have one of those things set up like they have it now. When you die, they can compost your body and they plant a fucking tree. We should have something that we for us growers, whereas we get turned into, I don't know, something cool cannabis related, or they're gonna turn around and when they compost our body, they're gonna plant fucking sour diesel on us or fucking tiki madness. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. I wish I was 40 again. I think I'd do a couple of things different, but Dry amendment. Wouldn't that be cool? You could go into the store. I'll have a little bit of the Jack Dry Amendment. It's like a limited fucking run. Alrighty, people, it is 7 o'clock. Make sure you are hydrated before you rip. I can be honest with you right now. Got a little cotton mouth going on. Alrighty, people. For those about to rip, we salute you. Crispy. Crispy, crispy. Good morning, Crispy. Excuse me. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. I just modded you up. Woo. Look at that hash still smoking. Woo. Oh, Bill's got sticky arms. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. I bet they smell great. You know, I'd turn around and work in the tent, and then I'd come in and I'd say to my wife, check this out. She'd be like, oh my God, that smells so good. And I'm like, I know. It's incredible. Wow, we've been on for a bit, people. We've been on for over 2 hours already. Huh. Well, I'll plan to run this until about 7:30. See what goes on. If we have people wandering by, passing through. The best parfum. Yes, indeed. You got age restricted on your live yesterday? Holy shit. There was nothing bad in there. That was a great freaking live. Yeah, YouTube's great about. My wife gets notifications 1 o'clock in the afternoon the following day when I run a live. And she'll say to me, are you live right now? I'm like, no. I said, read it. And she's like, oh, it's from yesterday. I'm like, yep. God damn it. You watch, I'll shut this thing I'll shut this thing down today and I'll be age restricted with an email and a strike. That's okay. I don't mind. Again, is it going to stop me from what I'm doing? No. Most they can do is ask me to take something down, and I can say, no, I don't want to. And then they can do whatever they want to do. No strike. No strike for you. JC, what is going on? I just saw you sneak in. Yeah. Yes, I get that, Dragon. I get that. Yeah. As I said, it just baffles me that my videos are age restricted and my lives aren't. But the hell's on my screen? There we go. Perfect. How are you doing today, JC? Jack will take the win. Yeah, no kidding, Kavort. Yeah, strike them. And I think that's a number of reasons why people, have abandoned their channels on YouTube. They're tired of dealing with the crap, you know? I get that with the age restriction, but why do they even have us toggle the box not for kids if they're going to fucking age restrict us? You know? I mean, really. No, there's a spot when I post a video and it says, is this for children or is this not for children? No, you're right, Frank. You're right. It's a piece of shit when they do that. I mean, I don't, obviously, you guys can tell, I am not Johnny Editor when I do my videos. I started to try and fiddle around with that and I decided it was better for me to get my content up than turn around and have all these flashy shit and things in my videos. Hookstergram, how you doing today? Thanks for stopping in. Thank you, thank you. Seeing you around, I am going to mod you up if you're okay with that. And I got to give you my mod rundown if I can real quick. Everybody gets to hear it. We are a channel 18 or older. We are a drama-free channel. Being a mod, let's make sure as a collective group and community, new people come in, let's welcome them all and make them feel good to be here, especially first time people. Let them know they're a part of the community and we're here to support them. If we have trolls, we can all escort them to the door. Most of all, have fun, smoke, chill, have a good time. There it is. That's my lecture. I try to give it every time, so absolutely. Hey, you guys make sure you're all subbed up to each other. We got a great group of people in this live right now. We got 18 people in here right now. 18 people and 25 likes. That is beautiful. Thank you, people, for hitting that button. Kavort, I never really thought about it that way, but you are correct. And Hookster, you know, where you say at least they should share the videos to new potential viewers. Something happened about 3 weeks ago, and I had one of my videos out of nowhere get 320 views. That's a lot for me. I average 100 views, which I'm thrilled with. But I went back and looked, and something in the analytics showed me that I was on something called first page view or something like that. So I don't know what that is, but whatever it was, it must have moved me up where people could see that one video. So I don't know. I was going to ask you about the English muffins, JC, because I was at your page and I was waiting for you to drop a video of those. And I still have yet to see it, but I will be checking back. Very intimidating. Hey, have a good time, Jimmy John. Good luck. Uh, Careful where you hit your balls, man. You know, for those of you who have been in my chat before, it is a little surprising that my dogs aren't up yet. I mean, I got my one right here, sleeping in the chair. YouTube might be watching your swing. Yeah, pretty much. I agree, Jack. I really do. And, us content creators, though we may be small, we're growing, we're getting traction. You know, I love it having people who have nothing to do with the cannabis community that come and watch us and realize who we are and what we do. I like that. The only thing that's weird is I like to go to their channels and I want to comment, but some of these people are, I'm trying to think of someone that I could use as an example. Well, again, they have nothing to do with the community. They might run a site that does flowers and pretty lady things. And I want to go in there and comment, but do I go in there and rip across the screen that says Crumbleweed 420 when you can definitely tell that that's not the vibe in the room? So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to think of a different way to communicate to these people and support them. Yeah, Xylens, that's a thing. That is a thing. Yeah, it is cool to bump into other people around the channels, JC. I see. I was talking about that I hadn't seen you earlier. And I was talking about bumping into you in the was the Cannabis Community Network. Those guys are freaking great. I don't know if we're stuck with you or you're stuck with us. You got to remember that too. We got a lot of good characters in this room. A lot of great people. Yeah, their Friday, Saturday sesh is good. That would be pretty cool, Frank. That really would. I'd ask that question, just out there to a couple of people that I know who are, in this community that live in New York in a reasonable proximity to me. And it's like, why don't they do a fucking meetup? And he's like, well, they do one in Albany. I'm like, I don't want to, not that I have an aversion to it, but they're like, well, they do one in Albany. And that's great. But, one of the guys is up in Potsdam, I think it is, which is a haul. That's like 6 hours from Albany, and I don't know. I would love to try and get something together up here in this area at some point in time. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But with my sister being in Alabama now, though I won't stay in Alabama when I go to see her because I don't like their cannabis laws at the moment. But we would plan on stopping at certain locations and states on the way and try and hook up with people, add a couple more days on our trip and just do something like that. So that would be cool. Oh, that's cool, Jack. That's going to be awesome. Oh, that's nice, Kavort. I knew that you had mentioned mountains before, but I didn't realize that's your location. That's really cool. Big deer and bears. Yep. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That is exciting, Jack. That is. Unfortunately, out here, even though I have 5 acres and a pond, we do not get a lot of larger wildlife here. But the biggest thing that I've got right now is a gigantic groundhog. The thing's massive. And yeah, it's about the biggest thing. I don't know if it's my hundreds of birds that come to the yard that eat all the bugs off my plant every day. I don't know if that shit keeps them away. It could. And we'll see deer every now and then, but it's very seldom. Okay, JC. Cutting in the grow, dragon got a lot of the hard work done. So, hey, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Brown bears and elk. Elk are fucking magnificent creatures. They really are. Things you do not mess with. They'd get a 621 grain arrow through them. No love lost there, right, Cavort? Excuse me. Just doing a little housekeeping here, real quick. Just remembered that I rolled up this awesome pre roll. It has some Master OG mixed with some Jet Wreck in it. And I am thinking that at 7:30 we'll fire that up and then I'll see what's going on in here and I'll see if I want to turn around and end this. We've been on here for a while and I'm loving it. Have you ever shot a bear before, Cavort? I know my cousin shot one here in New York State, and the thing was so old, it was actually missing a foot that it had lost in a trap. And I don't know, something about its size. He holds some record in New York State for something. I don't know what it is. For all I know, it could be for shooting a 3-footed bear. But no, the thing was massive. So, oh, you dropped a new video, Bill. Nice. I wonder what this is going to do if I click on it. So I'll have to wait to click on it because if I do it now, it's going to probably blow me out of the chat. Though it should launch just a different window for me. Zombie Queen, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Ba, 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 bum. Ba, 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 Ba-ba-ba. That's right, everybody. Sub up to Zombie Queen. Let's get you squared away here. All right, Zombie Queen, I modded you up. I'll give you the quick mod lecture, really abbreviated. Rooms for 18 or older. Come in, have fun. Welcome everybody. Make them feel nice and happy. You got the wrench, so if we get any trolls, you can help escort them to the door. But needless to say, yeah, I just went and checked out Zombie's page. Let us get Zombie to 600. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We will grow this community and we will grow people who support us. So it's a beautiful thing. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. It is really, really nice watching you guys. Really. Now I got to go look. Hey, the magic happened. Zombie Queen, you are at 600 subs. Thanks. Thank you, everybody in the room. Thanks for helping out with that. Yeah, congratulations. You know what this means? This means we should probably fire up and celebrate. You want to hang out and celebrate with us, Zombie Queen? I think that'd be a great idea. Cheers, everybody. Woo. No, don't let your eyes leak, Zombie Queen. Yeah, I've lived in upstate New York my whole life in Oswego. I spent 13 years in Connecticut, 2 years in Rhode Island for college, about a year and a half in Virginia for stupidity. And let me see, and then Connecticut again, and then finally settled back in Oswego about, geez, I came back to Oswego in 1998. Boy, this is good. Nice, Frank. Nice. That's funny, Jack. As I said, I'm sorry. I know I smoke a lot on here, so I hope you guys are definitely enjoying yourselves. Because I know I'm a little roasted. It's pretty good. People are going to start getting up and, yeah. Wow. All right. I'm a little embarrassed now. Look behind me at the light coming through the window. Look at the smoke that's just laying over there. For me billowing like a freaking chimney over here. Traveled a lot for the military, JC. Blazin', what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate ya. Oh, this is awesome. You're unboxing your car. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome, Zombie Queen. Hey, that's pretty much how it works, Gamort. That is true. I love that too. You're reading the chat, somebody comes in, and it's like, hey, I've been watching your videos. Makes you feel freaking great. Makes you feel absolutely great. And that's what I talk about. I talk about the impact that we can make in other people's lives just with a simple like and a message on their channel. Just drop them a comment. It'll make their day. And stuff like this, what we just did. Zombie rolls in and everybody takes a quick look at the page and it's like, holy shit, look, they only need a couple more subs and we can probably rock them to another level. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love this community. Well, good. I'm glad, Zombie. I'm glad. Nobody won the Powerball? Excuse me. That's all right, Bill. Let us know when you're ready. We'll smoke more. I'm sure at any given time somebody's smoking before we're smoking, so I don't think we're going to hurt anybody's feelings. Hey, check your tickets anyway, Frank. Who knows? Some money is some money. I bought 2 tickets. We'll see. Obviously, I didn't win, but it'd be nice to get a few numbers. That has to be worth a little bit. And I'm not greedy. What the fuck would I do with that much money? Well, I know things I would do with it, but I think it's a little excessive, in my opinion. But again, when you've been alive for X amount of time, you realize that money isn't everything, not even remotely. The wife handles all that, says Frank. Oh, absolutely, Cavort. Absolutely. You suddenly find out that you got, cousins 8 times removed that'll hunt your ass down on ancestry.com. I mean, shit. My sister is big into genealogy and everything, and she took our ancestry tree out, I don't know how many levels. Well, out of nowhere, I start getting these assholes messaging me on there. Hey, I'm your whatever, whatever. Do you think you could help me out with blah? And it's like, you motherfuckers. Sorry about that rant. Sleeps with Sativa. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Let's get you squared up. Boom. There you go. I'm not going to give my moderator lecture this time, other than saying we're a drama-free room. Have a hell of a lot of fun while you're in here and welcome people as they come in. It's a beautiful thing. You are right, Zombie. You are right indeed. It is very sad. Very, very sad. I was watching some shorts or reels or whatever the hell they're called yesterday, and there was this one that really struck a chord with me. It was showing the sheer excitement in little kids opening up Christmas presents. And they said the kids of today will never understand that feeling. And I remember it little growing up, and I remember seeing my kids on special occasions, just the sheer joy and excitement. And that's just not around anymore. You know, we're in a world that everybody wants instant gratification. And if they don't get it, they turn into a Karen or a Ken or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So, Sleeps with Sativa, what do you got going on today? Again, I appreciate you being here. Sorry, just catching up in the chat, making sure I didn't miss anything. Right, all things. We were appreciative of the stuff that we got. You know, we didn't run around with our hands out and an expectation. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Sleeps. That's cool. Oh, that's true, Cavort. When you get new genetics or new equipment or a new grow tent, new light, it's like, holy crap, it's like the best thing in the fucking world. We did. We had respect too. That was a big thing. We are the last feral kids alive. Yes, I think that's very true. Grow crap is cool for presents. It is. Or even again, I'm going to bring this back. Yeah, the excitement of that. Look at us now when not only when we get new new genetics and like that, but oh, hold on a second. Yeah, you're right, Frank. Somebody to sneak up behind me. That's Mrs. Crumblewig in the background. Probably can't see her because my fat head's in the way and the sun also. You don't want a present blazing. I'm thinking about like when when you win a giveaway even and you open it up and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I won this. Look at this shit. You know, where you're tracking a package as it's making its way from, you know, from one of us to another one of us. I know, Jess, right? Okay, Blaze, and I get that. I get that indeed. And that's a beautiful way to look at things. You prefer to give. Zombie Queen says she's more feral. Wild Bill, did you ever get that rolled up? Cheers, everybody. I'm sneaking one in right now. Since I didn't finish this gigantic pre-roll that I made. I'm sorry, JC. That has to be very difficult on you. See, JC? Got a lot of great people in here. It's got to be difficult. You know, I haven't really asked, what's anybody been smoking on today? I know when Scotty and Cabs were in here, they had some real nice stuff going on. Well, we had a little mushroom tea into there too. Zombie Mama. That's funny. Okay, we've got Purple Haze Cone, you stuff, Blazing Tropicana Cookies. Zombie Queen has lots of kids. Minions, you have minions. The Tropicana Cookies is great. I've had that before. It's getting boring. Oh, I thought you were talking about this in here was getting boring. I know what that's like smoking the same strain for a month. Raspberry Unicorn from Bodie. Nice. Hey, hey, kicking it, mama. Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys too. We got 15 people in the in the chat, and we got 31 likes. That is beautiful. I still wish Jake Rose shipped to New York. That would put a smile on my face, but it does not. Or excuse me, they do not. But maybe it'll change in the future. There you go. Thank you, people. Thank you for subbing up to one another. You know, we saw what that did tonight for Zombie Queen. She is 600 subs right now, which is, excuse me, which is fantastic. Well, you know, once and for all, I have to make a decision on that. I think my plan is going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings. I'm going to go live on my early morning live. And then I have to pick a time to do late. But I really like these morning ones, so I think I'm going to do them 4 in a row. So you can expect to see me on tomorrow morning, probably around 5:30. I don't know if I'll get on at 5 o'clock, only because unless I wake up before my alarm, I don't want to wake my wife up before she has to go to work. That would be Mrs. Crumblewick would not be happy, not even remotely. Nice, 602. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. That is awesome of you. Hey, absolutely, I will. I think, let me see, what do we got? Yeah, everybody in here, you guys are the best. But I think I'm going to stay on for about another 5, 6, 7 minutes. We'll round this out at 7:45. Good, Zombie Queen. I'm glad. Hopefully, you'll have a smile on your face all day. Hey, you too, Jess. Thanks for swinging in. Thank you. Thank you. Running low on my coffee, so that's another reason that we'll be winding this up. Tis good, though. Good indeed. Just want to say I appreciate all you guys very much. I'd say like, share, and subscribe, but you guys already have, and that's wonderful. So thank you. And you know what? I'll just wind up now. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again. Also, do me a favor if you can, people. Stop by somebody's page today. Treat them with the respect they deserve. Sub up if you want, but definitely drop them a like and a comment on one of their videos. You're going to change their life today. So, all right, everybody. Peace out. Love you. See you tomorrow.